Hello, everyone. Hello. It is Wednesday. It is Hump Day. And once again, it is another edition of Speak Your Soul. I am your host, Shantae. This is episode 13 of Speak Your Soul. So I decided to do the same thing I did last week and to go live with you guys because everyone seemed to like the interaction and to be able to speak and interact with me during Speak Your Soul. So I decided to do it one more again. So thank you guys for tuning in once again. Thank you for everyone that's jumping on, just getting started. So first of all, before I even begin with this, with Speak Your Soul today, I want to give a shout out and plug New Mindset. Kendrick Shepherd, I've got the shirts in. They came in today. I am wearing it. So for all of you that are looking for people that do shirts and designs and Black-owned businesses and stuff like that, here's one of them, Mr. Kendrick Shepherd, New Mindset. He has his own workout shirts and apparel and stuff like that. So this is a brand new, fresh, hot off the presses, New Mindset. So I wanted to give him a big shout out and let him know. If you need me to drop his information, I can give that to you after Speak Your Soul is over with, and you guys can reach out to him and give him some busy work. I'm pretty sure he would appreciate that during this time. So, but once again, thank you guys once again for tuning in. Last week, we had so much fun, even though we were talking about a really, really serious topic. We were talking about educating yourselves during this time where everyone's out there protesting and just making sure that you understand what's happening out there, what's going on when it comes to, just educating yourself on what's real and what's not. So we had a lot of positive feedback from last week's episode. And so once again, I just wanted to jump on here once again and talk to you guys about a couple of things. We're going to start off with one topic and then move into the big theme of today. As you can see, it's already pinned to this particular Speak Your Soul Live. So, but the first thing I want to talk about is something that I threw out a little bit earlier today, which I would say it's pretty shocking and surprising at the answers that I saw. But to be honest with you, I'm kind of not shocked and surprised. So I asked a question in regards to which one of these three things is the most hardest to say. The first one was, I apologize. The second one was, I need help. And then the third answer was, I love you. And so for the most part, so many, thank you all for those of you who responded. But for the most part, the majority of everyone said it's hard for you guys to say, I need help. Which it's overwhelming, the responses that I got, which all chimed in and said the same thing, I need help. So that just kind of goes back and makes me think about a few different things going on. So I posted this week, Taraji P. Henson put out something stating that she's donating or putting something out there to get counseling or help for those going through this particular time, which it's a lot. Let's be honest. It's a lot going on. It's a lot that we're taking in. It's a lot that we're digesting. It's a lot that's going out on the street. It's a lot going on the news. Just alone yesterday, the people that witnessed and watched George Floyd's funeral couldn't take it. So there's a lot going on. So mentally, there's a lot that you have to consume and a lot that you have to bear that weight of everything that's going on right now as far as racism in America and how just it's not different. It's just being televised. It's always been there, but it's just more visibility to it at the highest, at the highest peak or pinnacle that we could ever imagine right now. And so mentally, a lot of people are exhausted. A lot of people are actually getting off of social media and taking breaks because it is so much that you're looking at, is so much that you actually have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. But when I put this out there, I didn't really expect too many people to respond. But like I said, the response of I need help is just something that kind of floors me. And I was the first one to be honest and admit it's hard for me as an individual to say I need help or to ask someone for help, because I just think that's something that's always ingrained in us from when we're little kids, right? You don't want to seem needy. You don't want to see, hey, uncle, you don't want to seem like you're, asking for too much, and it's a pride thing. And a lot of people, I want to give a big shout out to those people that actually went a little bit deeper into it and explained why they chose I need help. It's a prideful thing. They don't want to, injure themselves or put their pride to the side to actually ask someone and tell them, hey, you know what? I do need help. I do need help. But when we look at it, and when I look at it, that's just something that's even further deeply rooted into something that's been ingrained in us to not want, to not need help, to you'll be fine, you'll be okay, just, thug it out on your own, tough it out. That's just something that's always been embedded in us to not ask for help or to not want help. And so I just find that very interesting that the majority of everyone stated that it's hard for you guys to actually say to someone, I need help. Everyone needs help. No one out here walking the face of this earth has come to a point in their life where they can honestly and truthfully say, hey, you know what? I'm good. I don't need any help. And they don't want for anything. I mean, the only people I can think that may say that may be millionaires or billionaires, but even then still. So it's important for us to understand that it's okay to need and depend on someone else or to ask for help. And I think just getting to that one simple piece of it, to cross that bridge and say, I'm going to put my pride to the side and actually, ask someone for help, is a huge thing that I think is been something that has kind of festered in us and been ingrained in us for so long, where we're so proudful of a people that we can't say, hey, I need help. I mean, you can be getting ready to be evicted, car getting ready to be repoed, so many things happening in your life, and then you all of a sudden you just, you let all these things happen to you without reaching out. And a lot of this stems from reaching out to people and not getting help in return. Sometimes you call up a friend and you want to talk to them, or you do call and say, hey, I need help with something, and you don't get a response on the other end. That person is not available. That person doesn't extend an olive branch or doesn't want to help you, or just seems like they don't want to be bothered. And so that in itself creates kind of a wall that says, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to ask for help anymore. And so one of these two things have happened. Either it's something that's been embedded in you from childhood to just not need anything, to not ask for anything, to not ask for help because it's a prideful thing. And then some of it is, yes, we've had people in our lives that we've reached out to. We said we've come to a point where we can't take it anymore. And so we called that person on the phone. We've made that trip. We've made that first initial step, and you don't get a response on the other end. Or it's, I got my own thing to do. I got my own bills I have to take care of. So, I can't help you. So there's so much deeply rooted in that question. And that's why I wanted to pose that as a Speak Your Soul poll for today, because I think there's a lot more to that. And like I said, kudos for those that went a little bit deeper into it. My cousin, for one, thank you for breaking it down for us. But then there were some people that says, hey, I have absolutely no problem with saying I apologize, with saying I need help, and with saying I love you. And I applaud those people, because at some point there are people, hey, Richard, there are some people that, would wish they could be in your shoes, that they can do all of those things, that they could ask for ask for, just openly say I love you, or openly just say I need help. But there are so many other people out there that are so shut down and so guarded that sometimes it's not so easy for them to be able to say either one of those things. So I applaud those that responded and says, no, I have absolutely no problem with being able to say I love you, I apologize, or I need help. I'm good with that. But there were a couple of people that said they have trouble with saying I love you. And even that goes a little bit deeper, in my opinion, than those that said that they're prideful to ask somebody for help. I love you. And like I said, and we talk about this on Speak Your Soul ad nauseum, I'm a big believer in love. No matter what, life has dealt me, I love the love I have for other things like music and art and photography. That's one piece of it. Then there's also the piece that just genuinely loves to be around people and talk to people and try to get an understanding of people. So when I hear someone say that it's hard for them to say I love you, that's even a more concern to me, because that's a even deeper rooted issue or cause or whatever it is. Either that's, someone you fear of saying I love you because you have a fear of rejection. It's something that happened in your past where you didn't hear I love you quite often. There's so many different reasons why people are afraid to say I love you. But in this day and age, with everything that's going on right now, with loved ones passing away at rapid speeds, at, African American men dying daily, just multiple different factions, police, just so many different things are happening right now. You have to come to a point to where you can say these three things that are on that list, you can say. There's going to come a time where you're going to have to say, I apologize to someone. It may hurt. It may sting. It may, it may be a grudge that you've been holding on to someone for years. But with everything that's going on, tomorrow is not promised to everyone. So these three things specifically are things that you just, as we grow as people, you have to get accustomed to be able to be uncomfortable and being able to say these things, to be able to tell someone, you know what, I apologize. And there was a post not too long ago where, someone accused women of not being really, really good at saying that or admitting or apologizing when they're wrong. And some may, and some are not. I wholeheartedly believe that if I've wronged you, if I've done something wrong to you, then I'm going to apologize to you. And that's just my stance on that. So I definitely don't have a problem with saying I apologize. But asking for help, especially with unemployment being as rampant and as huge as it is right now, I'll be the first one to say at this point, yeah, I'm a prideful person and I don't like to ask anybody for help. I'm a go-getter. I'm an individual and I like to get it for myself. But in this day and age, right now, I'm going to have to ask somebody for help. Even with doing the podcast, I had to ask someone for help. So at this point, I apologize. I need help. I love you. These are three things that we're going to have to get embedded in our vocabulary to be able to tell people, because like I said, with everything that's going on, you don't know. Tomorrow is not promised. So you have to be able to tell that person, hey, I love you. I love you. I don't know when the next time I'll hear your voice or see your face, but we have to be able to tell that person, I love you. A lot of us have talked to someone on the phone and then literally 20 minutes later, that person was gone. It is the most somber feeling to look at social media and to see so many loved ones that are passing away and they say, I just talked to the person. Well, the only thing that I can say at the end of that is, I hope you told, before you hung up that phone, I hope you were able to tell that person how much you love them and how much you you care for them. Because at this point, you just never know. And it's sad that this is the state that we're in with COVID-19 and coronavirus, and with protesting and looting and everything that's going on right now. The climate is so hot, but you have to be comfortable with being able to say these things, especially to your, if not to your, to your friends and family, then to who? Then to who? So I just found that very interesting. I do a lot of polls on Speak Your Soul. I do some on IG, at SY Soul Podcast. I do them on Snapchat. I do them on Twitter. And this particular one just kind of really resonated with me a lot, because I didn't expect so many people to be so proudful in saying that I hate asking people for help, and I hate being the one to ask for help. So I just want to address that. This is the time to where all three of those things you have to get comfortable with. You have to go ahead, those grudges that you're holding on to, just apologize and move on. If you need help, say you do, because at this point, no one is above help. Like I said, I'll be the first one to tell you right now, yeah, do I need help? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I know I look like I'm a down sister and I got it all together, out here advertising, for people, but I still, to this day, need help. And I'm not above, calling friends and family. So with that being said, let me dive into the real topic for today. I posted on here about the cancel culture. And so I had to think really, really hard on this if I even wanted to delve into this particular subject, because in this day and age, when we say the canceled culture, it means these celebrities, entertainers, if they do something that goes against the grain, or if they say something that we deem is unrepairable or just completely out of pocket, then that person we no longer support them. They're canceled. And I had to do a little research and how this all began. How did the canceled culture begin? And so just looking back at some of the Twitter feeds, and this is something that came from Twitter, #canceled or whatever. And I start just going through Twitter and just seeing so many people #canceled. And I look at it and I'm scrolling as far as the eye can see. This person, this politician said this, he's canceled. This entertainer said that, they're canceled. And so I just really wanted to come here, and people that know me knows that I when I have an opinion about something, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm going to speak it wholeheartedly, and I'm going to tell my truth. And if somebody really doesn't like it, then so be it. But I really, and I've watched some other things as well, like Amanda Seales said something really interesting on her IG earlier today, which runs kind of hand in hand with this cancel culture that I'm talking about. And so I just want to say that we spend a lot of time manifesting through other people. And a lot of times when we see celebrities, when we see artists, when we see sports figures, we have a certain expectation of how they should talk, on how they should be, on how they should react to certain issues with their money and all kinds of stuff. And so hence the Michael Jordan syndrome, right? Jordan, was one of the biggest, entertainer. I can't call him an entertainer. Was one of the biggest sports figures of all time, right? And so when you looked at for those that saw the special not too long ago, the 10 series special, he over and over again just constantly lets you know that was never his platform. His platform was never in politics. His platform was never to speak out on social injustice or whatever was going on at the time. His platform was to play basketball. And people absolutely still loved him for that. They loved him for that. They reveled in that. And so it's the same thing now, in my opinion. We have so many expectations for football players, for singers, for entertainers, for all of these people that have this platform, for them to live up to a certain standard, for them to, be this charismatic person, to talk and to really speak out when these things come awry. But they have a certain platform for a reason. If they're a football player, they play football. If they're a musician, they're there for music. And so I'm not expecting them to speak out on something that they know nothing really about. And so I think this whole council culture is just, to me, it's just really getting out of hand. Because I think at this point, people don't have their own individual mindsets when it comes to having an opinion. They see someone say something about a particular artist or a musician or a sports figure, and they go, no, I'm not messing with him no more. And so instead of an individual saying, well, why do you say that? Well, I don't think it's like that. I think blah, blah, blah. Well, my opinion is this. Instead of doing that, they kind of jump on the bandwagon with other people. So if 500 people are posting that this person is canceled all the way down the line, then guess what that 501 person is going to do? They're not going to be like, no, I don't believe that at all. No, they're going to see everybody else's post and they're going to do the same thing that person is doing. They're going to say they're canceled. It's like people are afraid to speak up and have an individual voice, which is concerning to me. I have an individual voice. I have a platform. My platform is to talk and speak about whatever it is that I want to speak about. So I have a voice to speak about what I want to. And I just, it's sad when we just kind of cancel these celebrities without rhyme or reason, or without really knowing what we're canceling them about. So this cancel culture, there's just so many different, variables in this. So right now, there's Trina. So Trina, everybody is, she's canceled because she made her comments about, when a police officer gets behind me, I don't have a problem with that because I've got my ID and my insurance and stuff like that. And so she just, let it out. I don't know what was happening at the time on this particular podcast. Some people said that, Trick was trying to tell her, interject before she could get that out. But she's entitled to say whatever she feels at the time. But I'm going to tell you this. She was quickly, during this time, with everything that's going on, everything is heightened. And so when she made those comments that to everyone felt real insensitive, she's canceled. She got canceled quickly. And so now people are having to go on there and defend. But I'm going to tell you this. When it goes to canceling people and all this kind of stuff, I need you to understand. She's still a part of the culture. I mean, they got really nasty with what they did to Trina. People brought up pictures of her back in the day, with her, with other men. I mean, they did some really nasty stuff to her. But I want you to ask yourself this. What happens at the end of the day when you've canceled all these people and you've diminished them down and you've canceled their careers and there's nothing else to be done? What happens to that person at the end of the day? We talked a little bit about mental health at the beginning of this. Well, that's probably more prominent now with these celebrities than ever. Once they lose their careers and once they lose, everything because people decided to say these things about them and pull out old pictures and demean them and say all this horrible